Hey everyone, welcome to this weird session of our event. It's our H2 Hacks for Agency Recruiters. This is our prospecting session that we are going to do for the month of July. We sadly we're having so many technical issues that what we're doing is we're just broadcasting this on LinkedIn, or sorry, on YouTube, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to send that out to everybody else. So you've got the crew here. We've got Olivia Nielsen, who's our head of revenue, the very own CTO, Max Holmes, who's the wizard behind all of this, and our in-house COO slash recruiter mastermind, Nick Lee. And again, guys, my name is Matt Schalze, CEO of Perfect Hire. So today, guys, we're going to talk a lot about what we have built from a agency perspective to help guide you guys into more of that functional revenue generating machine. As recruiters, we're constantly having this feeling of delay and waiting and having to prospect, but especially on the agency side, you're having to sustain a business on top of doing your normal day to day. So, Nick, real quick, I'm gonna rapid fire out to you as an agency recruiter, right? Like, what does that like day to day kind of look like for you guys briefly?
Yeah, if you're a true full desk agency recruiter running your own book of business, you're going to be worrying about two sides of your business. That business development side, where do we get our clients? Who are we servicing? What kind of contracts are we winning? And then on the recruitment side, obviously you got to fulfill those contracts and put butts in seats. So those are generally the two sides of the business you're worried about as an agency recruiter.
Yeah, and I love that because like the two sides are very almost the exact same, but yet vastly different at the same point. Um, so today, guys, we're gonna really talk about our business development section within Agency Plus. Now, this is what we've built out here is how you can go ahead and search for new prospects and new contracts to go fill, how you guys are going to be able to do it, how you can actually continue to build up a database, and not only just put your prospecting on autopilot, but how to manage all of that. So, Liv, before we jump into this with Max, we've done a lot of these preliminary interviews and stuff like that. What has been the feedback so far from these agencies that we've talked to around just even sourcing those new contracts?
Yeah. So this has been the aha moment, the oh my gosh, we need this right now. Why hasn't this existed before moment that happens in a majority of these conversations? Because what one thing that we consistently hear, right, is like Nick said, there's two sides of the business. But the BD part of it, they find people, nobody loves to pick up the phone and smile and dial, right? Without an exact with an exact focus of what you should be calling and why you should be calling. So, what this BD function allows people to do is actually understand who within the database that they can serve up right now to quickly win that business, not only with people that they're currently working with, but also adjacent companies that they can fill similar roles for. So, this BD engine is really helping them understand that you might not need additional staff and additional recruiters. You just need a tool that's going to help take care of that automatic BD for you.
Yeah. And one of the things that, we've noted in these conversations, right, is well, currently right now I have a CRM to manage my pipeline. I have an ATS to help manage all my candidates, and I'm using my Claude or ChatGPT to help continue to source and vet all of this out. Or I've just got a upteen thousand of spreadsheets or lines that I have to go ahead and continue to navigate through. So that is the nice thing with our Agency Plus is we're actually taking all of that and just putting it all into one. So, Max, I'm gonna have you go ahead and demo out the business development side of our product here, and really just kind of highlight this. And Nick, Liv, as we go through this, like, feel free to chime in from your guys' perspectives of what we've already heard, what we've experienced, and what others have already been saying. So, Max, over to you.
Just the
Awesome.
quick
Thanks, Matt.
anecdote part. Sorry, Max. But like
You're
this
good.
part is awesome for us recruiters because I think most of us are recruiters first, and we didn't get into this game to sell or win and focus on this biz dev part. But obviously, it's a core important of how we keep ourselves fed. So yeah. Sorry, Max.
No, no, absolutely. No, it's an important thing to bring up. Hi, everyone. As Matt mentioned, I'm the CTO of Perfect Hire, and I'll be going over the business development features of our platform, which we think are pretty dope. So, something to remember as you look through this is that when we're matching candidates to jobs, right, we model candidates is not just skills, years of experience, and domain expertise, but we actually model how recently have you talked to them, right? How warm is that relationship? And that's the important thing to remember as we go through this, because as I'm sure you've all experienced, right? Like the perfect candidate may not be someone that you've talked to recently, right? And the candidates that you actually want to be pushing out to clients are the ones that you feel confident you can bring in, and we have built that into our system. So as you can see here, we basically have a search engine that we've built. You can go ahead and type in any query you want. The way this breaks it down is it'll take the phrases you use, right? Any specific skill sets, any specific descriptors for a company, right? So here you can see I'm looking for a specific kind of company, right? Infra in Boston. Startups means it'll look for anything from seed through Series H, but you can be more specific as you want. Typically, this search runs about 2 minutes, but we have this result cached from earlier today. And as you can see here, right, it detected around 206 open roles that were listed on the career pages of companies that match these searches. 114 of those roles matched the skill sets that you have within your CRM. And we've generated 9 portfolios or candidate slates that you can send over to those clients. Because again, the goal here is to say, I want to generate some business. Here's the kind of company that I think we would be best served to send slates over to. Let me see who's hiring, right? So this shortcuts all of those hours of searching on Google, researching companies, looking through available open positions on websites, and gets you right to the heart of it, which is, hey, here are the candidates that I have that I'm confident that I can bring through, and here's how they match. So as you can see here,
I'm gonna
go
interject
ahead,
here
Matt.
real quick, Max.
Yeah.
Like I just ran the same query in Claude right now, and it only gave me 10 results. I haven't gone through to see if they matched in here yet, but the 10 results that I had, guys, it didn't even give me a point of contact or a business or tell me what candidates I had in there. I just 20x'd my entire productivity just by putting in this search engine with our increased machine learning and AI capabilities in this. We just 20x'd your entire pipeline instead of just the basic 10 that you guys are continuously working through with your normal GPTs and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool what you can do with the infrastructure that we have set up. And so what you can see here, right, is that each of these jobs has specific candidates in your CRM matched to it, right, that are judged not by their fitness, right, but also their readiness for the role, right? How ready are you to submit this person, right? And those two are combined together to give you sort of an actionability score, right? You can see here that for every candidate, we have taken the skills mentioned in the jobs, and if we want to click through, you can see that this is a live posting on a website, right, that has responsibilities, qualifications, right? So we parse all of this, we bring this into our system, right, and then we match it against the candidates that you have. So you can see here that we have different candidates for each of these roles, each of these companies. When we can do here is you can say, okay, cool, this looks great. I'd love to put forward some options for this GTM engineer at Concourse. I'm gonna go ahead and save this to my slates. And so what this means is you can go through and create a candidate slate. This is some boilerplate information that we had set up. It's customizable before you send. But what this does is it creates a unique URL that you can send via email, via LinkedIn message, text message, if you know them even better, to your contacts at these companies, right, to help with your prospecting. So you can go straight to, hey, here are the good people that I have for this role, right? I'm not just BSing, right? I have the good people. Here's why they're good fits. And then if they're interested, they can book a meeting directly from this page. We're working on a tool that will allow you to send these messages from our platform. But right now, we just provide a link that you can include in any email or message that you want to send. So the cool thing here too, I want to point out, it'll tell you why certain people didn't get included, right? So there are 3 near misses for this job. It excluded 160 people from your CRM. That's great. We don't want to put any junk candidates in there. And then something else that it will do if it detects a good company, right, that's a good match for your search, but maybe doesn't have good open roles right now, it'll tell you and say and prompt you to add it to your watched accounts list. Now, this is something that once a company has been identified as something that matches an industry or vertical you're interested in, you can go ahead and add it in here, and then you can run a repeated search, maybe every day, every 3 days, every week, every month, to see when new roles are getting added. As an example here, we can see Stripe is one of these watched accounts. And in a last scan of their CRM, which in this case was a little bit ago, but as an example, it still holds true. Was this we have a good match with our CRM for people for their staff engineering position, and like we could from before, you can just click Add Slate here, and then it'll go ahead and build that slate with that unique URL for us to go ahead and send over to Stripe. So I want for you while this sits and works. So one other thing that I want to make sure we talk about here is another way that we are trying to do business development for you, right? So what we do is we sit and watch for market signals, right, from your CRM. And when we detect that there's either a really highly placeable candidate or maybe a group of candidates that all share, similar skills, similar backgrounds, we'll actually go ahead and search for companies that need their skill sets, right? Maybe you sort of identify some verticals that you maybe weren't thinking of immediately when you're doing your business development work. And then we go ahead and do that scan. We say, hey, look, do they have open roles? You can see here we have found for Jordan and Mara, we have found positions for both of them that are open. And likewise for Priya and Devin, we can find places that fit what they're looking for specifically, because that is something that we pull in is notes, right, on what kind of positions do they have? Do they want to become a people manager, stay in IC? What are their comp expectations? We build all that into the search. So that's just another way that I want to talk about how we do this business development automation. And again, just try to latently sift up any opportunities that may be out there. One last thing I want to check through.
Can I just share one thing, Matt? Yeah,
absolutely.
Perfect. So
go ahead, Liv.
One thing that actually came up this week on a conversation is an organization that is in the infancy of penetrating multiple different accounts, but right now they're only working with one business function within the company. So the question was, if I put all my current clients in here and understand other positions in the business, will that work? Absolutely, right? So then it'll surface up different roles in other departments for clients that you're already working with, so you can expand your current portfolio as well. So I thought that was a really good idea, and I was like, yeah, absolutely, you can do that.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it, and this is just version 1, right? We're learning every day from our customers, from people we talk to. Preferably stop us on the street and tell us, something that they thought was cool or something we could do. We take all those ideas, right? And we're more than willing to build something out if it seems like a good match for what we're doing. So we court that kind of feedback. If anyone has any thoughts on what we could do that would be helpful or cool or just a little nice to have. One more thing I want to run through is just another view of how we look at our bench, right? So this is just I guess a special view of your CRM, right? But it's designed to show you, hey, who are my submit rated candidates? Maybe these are candidates that I have had conversations with recently. Maybe they have engaged with some of the emails that we've sent out, right? They seem like they're interested in new roles. Here we can see they're here now. And then their status, right? We sent both these candidates to Brex, right? They're in a pipeline. And here are candidates that are maybe falling out, right, of our ready to submit package. And what all this is really going to do is it's going to prompt us to say, hey, look, you haven't really talked to Marcus in a while. He's been a good fit for some roles, but maybe we should check in on him and see what he's looking for. It allows us to again, just kind of prompts us to reach out, phone, conversation, text, email, and then log it in their profile. Like I said, in the future, we will have all that built in natively into the platform. But for right now, we just kind of like give you a little nudge, right, that you should go out, because the goal here is to keep as many of your contacts as warm as possible, right? Who are your most placeable contacts for the roles that you're seeing, right? The roles that are out there, who we want to make sure that we know what they're looking for, if they're open to a new position. And at the end here, of course, we have the full re-engage. These are candidates that we haven't talked to in 6 or 9 months. And we need to have, a more full conversation of, get a new resume, get a new sort of deep dive into the positions they're looking for. But again, these are the candidates that would be great fits for the roles that we're looking at. It's just, again, another way of saying, if I'm going to spend 20 minutes on the phone, who should I be calling, right? Our goal is to get you off the platform as much as possible, right? Do all your work for you. but to guide you and nudge you and suggest where we think based on the data you've given us would be the most helpful. So that's the broad strokes of our business development tooling. Like I said, we have a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipeline. It's a very, very exciting platform. I mean, this is probably the coolest thing I've ever built and had a chance to work on, and I've had an amazing time working with all these recruiters to build this out. And yeah, if anyone has any thoughts, ideas, you want to tell me it's dumb, please reach out. I'm more than happy to get that feedback, good or bad. So Matt, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to you, unless there's anything else you'd like me to share about the platform.
No, this is great. Max, thank you so much for going over that and everything. So, guys, with the BD function of this, right, we're game changing the way that you guys can prospect and then continue, as Liv said, almost expanding your portfolio tenfold. As I said, earlier when Max was doing those searches, right, I just 20x'd my entire prospect list as I was going through this. So there's multiple different ways that you could see some early ROI that's going on into the product. And there's multiple ways that even you as an agency recruiter today can help shape the future of what agency recruiting actually looks like, or what platforms or what our platform could actually be able to do. Firsthand direct communication into Max, working with Nick, who's an agency recruiter and a recruiter at heart. You have Liv and myself, who, we are just finding ways that how do we give you guys the biggest bang for your buck? So with that being said, sign up today. You guys can go to getperfecthire.com/agency. You can sign up straight on there on the website. It's $150 per user per month. Feel free. No year-long contracts or anything like that. We just want to make sure that we get the right people into the right tool, making the right amount of money that they are needing for their agency. So with that, I want to leave you guys here. Please join us next week as we go through the the ATS function of our platform as well. It's not revolutionary, it's not rocket science, but it's great the way that it all ties in together, from the BD function, which is the moneymaker for you, and how you actually provide the substance to every single one of those opportunities that's coming down the pipe. So with that, and big thanks from the entire Perfect Hire team. We look forward to chatting with you guys soon. And if you have questions at all, feel free to reach out to info@theperfecthire.co, or you can reach out to any of us on LinkedIn as well. With that, have a great day, and we'll see you guys next week.
Take care.